Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ged O'Donnell, and I'm a proud principal of the best school in Guildford County. Tomorrow, when we have our graduation, due to time constraints and due to certain dignitaries being there, I might not be able to say that, but I want you to know that I feel it. And when you walk across that stage, you better feel it too, because you've earned it. We are the best school in Guildford County, and we are for two reasons. The first reason is this, and I say this because I'm not going to be able to say it tomorrow. I say this, if you don't feel that everything you do, that you can be the best at, then you need to try harder. So everything that you do, you need to give your best in everything that you can do. You can be the best at something. Find that something that you can be the best at and work on it and grow it. Secondly, just look around. We are everything that Greensboro could be and should be. We have races, creeds, religions, and even accents working together for a common goal. Walking side by side in the hallways, sitting side by side in the cafeteria, working side by side in the classrooms, and playing side by side on the soccer field, the basketball court, and the football field and beyond. We are the model that every school should be following, and I congratulate all of you for that. I also want to take this opportunity to personally thank all of the staff members and teachers. You took me in as one of your own. I'm so in awe of the incredible teachers and staff that we have at Grimsley High School. You give your weekends, you give your evenings, you give your holidays, you give time up with your families to make sure that our students before you have the best possible education. Let's give our teachers and staff a round of applause. Last but not least, I want to thank the parents. I know many of you from my days over at Kaiser, but many of you I have not known. And it's been a pleasure to work with you as a partner in your child's education. I want to give a special shout out to our moms, who are always there each and every night, making sure that our students are loved and cared for. My mum dropped out of school when she was young. Came to England, she wasn't able to read. She wasn't able to even speak English. She was a dropout at the age of 13. But she was the brightest, cleverest, most inspiring person I've ever met. Let's give it up for our mums. Well, I want to welcome you to our annual Grimsley Convocation. Tonight we welcome Amyah Brady back to campus as our speaker. Amyah Brady is the owner and lead consultant of Inspiring Stars, a leadership, coaching and consulting company where she specialises in developing and supporting school leaders who want to grow their strengths and improve their performance. For over 30 years, Miss Brady served as an educator, leading people and communities in a variety of roles. Prior to her recent retirement from the North Carolina Public Schools, she led as a regional superintendent for the Northern Region, to school support officer in Guildford County Schools, coaching and supervising middle and high school principals. Previously, she held the positions as the Executive Director of the Guildford County Schools Northern Region and the Executive Director of the Piedmont Triad Leadership Academy on the campus of UNC Greensboro. Prior to her school leadership work, she served as a high school principal, school counsellor and school social worker. Most notably, Miss Brady was the proud principal of Grimsley Senior High School from 2008 until 2011. As principal of Grimsley High School, she led her team to a school in a transformation of its culture and academic achievements through the collaborative efforts of the amazing faculty, staff, students and community. Growing together, the Grimsley staff and student body improved school reports from one that showed no progress to one of distinction, ranked as high as the 78th on the America's Best High Schools list by Newsweek, and increased the end-of-course testing scores, the graduation rate, the SAT participation, and other key areas of school improvement. In 2010 and 11, Grimsley earned School of Distinction recognition. Prior to leading Grimsley, Miss Brady was the principal of Weaver Academy, a visual and performing arts, career and technical magnet school. While at Weaver, the school ranked as high as 124th on the America's Best High Schools list by Newsweek, and was named of Guilford County Schools' 16 most improved schools. In 2010, Miss Brady was selected as the Guilford County Schools Principal of the Year, and the Piedmont Triad Regional Finalist for the Wells Fargo, North Carolina Principal of the Year. Other professional achievements include being named Secondary School Principal of the Year for Guilford County Schools in 2009 and 2010, and receiving the 2009-2010 Robert A. McLennan Outstanding High School Administrator Award from the Guilford County Schools Council of PTAs. In 2010-2012, she was the recipient of the Edward Ford Leadership Award in honor of the Chancellor from North Carolina A&T University. And in 1997, her peers selected her as the Randolph County Counselor of the Year. Miss Brady holds undergraduate degrees from High Point College and the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, along with 2 Masters of Science degrees in School Counseling and School Administration from North Carolina A&T University. Spending time with her family, staying active with golf and tennis, but not soccer, enjoying music and the arts, and travelling among one of her enjoyable things that she likes to do. It gives me great honour to introduce you, a friend, a mentor, and a hero of mine. Let's give it up to Miss Amyah Brady.
My heart is pounding. I was going to say because I'm not nervous, but I am nervous. But it's mostly pounding because I'm kind of an emotional wreck. Being back here at Grimsley High School is just an unbelievable feeling. And I know that probably the graduates right now, to be tomorrow, you might not know and understand that true feeling yet, but you will once you come back to this magnificent campus that is filled with wonderful people and a tradition of excellence that goes back over 100 years. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm filled with love and gratitude and a sense of belonging. I arrived here early this afternoon and did what I used to do when I was principal here 9 years ago. Every morning on my way to work, I would drive my car around the campus, and I would look to make sure that everything looked good before all the students arrived. I did that today. I came on the campus and I walked around. It is the most beautiful campus that I've ever been on. It's like a college campus. I walked the halls, and I was reminded of all the people who've come before you. And you're going to hear a little bit about that, I think, later on from your Alumni Association. But some very wonderful people over 100 years have walked these halls. It was my pleasure to do that. I even did some crazy stuff, like even touched the wooden walls. I went by and looked at the plaques and the trophies and all the memorabilia. You are a part of history. But you're also a part of the present day and of the future. And I want to talk to you a little bit this afternoon, or this evening, about what you can do with your future and how to be successful. That bio is almost embarrassing. They always ask for a bio when you're the speaker. And I wished I hadn't sent that. Because it sounds a lot about me, which it was. But what people really don't know is it wasn't really about me. It was about so many people that are still in this room. Teachers that you have that were here just 9 years ago when I was with them. It was a team effort in the work that we did. the work that you will do once you graduate from Grimsley, if you're going on to college or the workforce or military, whatever you do, you will find that it is so much more rewarding when you get to work with people who care about the same things you care about, who have a vision for the future, who want to transform our world into something more beautiful than some of the things that we're experiencing right now. You see, the thing about a bio is that it's a lot like a resume. It's a short version of your resume. And I know you've been sending out resumes, either for work or for college applications or for scholarships. The things I like about a bio is that you get to list all the good things, the awards, where you went to school, your achievements, all the good things, the things that make you shine. It's not a place for things where you weren't successful, because you always want to make sure that you're putting yourself out there, that you have something to offer. I want to be vulnerable with you just for a moment. And I want to tell you something about myself that's not on that bio, that's not on my resume. I've been afraid of failing for most of my life. Every success that you heard about, every award, has come to me from exercising courage when I was afraid. Having a positive attitude in spite of the negative circumstances that were coming against me. Those successes that you heard about were about a team. It was about surrounding myself with people in this building who are still here. Hey, Dr. Stewart. Smart and caring people who supported me and who added value to me in areas of my life where I was weak. Now, it's important for you to understand this, because anything that's good and is successful that comes your way starts out with fear. Not necessarily being afraid of the thunder and lightning that you hear out there. I will say that I am afraid of storms, and Mr. O'Donnell told me a storm was coming, so I'm going to really hurry this speech up quick. But I have failed many, many times in my life. You're probably asking yourself, okay, this principal's come back and this is all she wants to talk about is failing? Of all the inspiring topics she could talk to me about, I'm just going to talk about this. I'm speaking about this tonight because I'm betting that every person in this room at one time or another has attempted to follow a dream or a passion or a path that you really wanted, but you didn't because you were afraid of failing. Most likely fear of failing, or that feeling like you're not good enough. I've had those too. Right now, maybe there's someone in here who's attempting or wants to do something, but you're afraid. But confronting your fears, challenging any negative assumptions you've made about your future, tonight I want to share with you, hopefully, a few hints that will help you get on your way. And when I'm talking about success, I'm going to talk about personal success. I'm not talking about becoming the CEO, because that's a great thing. I hope that you do everything you want to do. I hope you make the money, to have the home, the nice car, all the perks, and I hope you get to travel and do cruises around the world. I'm here to tell you, it's not all that. What really matters in this world is how you turn out as a person. Know that you're going to make mistakes. You will. I've made so many. But you'll be okay. Because when we learn from our mistakes, we can move forward and we can do the things that we're afraid to do. So what I did is I took the word whirly. It's not a word, it's like a cool thing to be a whirly. Even though I was the principal of Grimsley, even though I have this connection with you, I'll never really be a whirly. You're only a whirly if you go to school here and you graduate. That makes you a whirly. Like, there are not many people who can say that. Not many people can stand up and do this. Right? Only you. I used to think about how that we are the whirlwind and all the whirlwind, all that good stuff. But really what everybody does doesn't know in secret is that we're all going, hey, we're number one. We're number one. So I took those letters of Worley, and I'm going to give you some tips for some personal success. First one is this, the W. Work hard for what you want and who you love. Work hard for what you want and who you love. You might say, well, I don't love anybody right now. Sometime in your life, hopefully you will. And you have to start thinking about somebody besides yourself. Work hard for what you want and who you love. You're already learning that good things in life don't come easy, and you're going to find in the coming months and years that hard work is good work, and attention to detail matters. And while you're working toward your life goals, it will be important to stay the course, to resist that urge of giving up and being average. Worleys are not average. You did not get an average education here. I know that to be true. You don't know me, and I don't know you. But what I do know about you is that you're graduating from Grimsley High School, and that is no joke. That's the real deal. And you're going to be prepared for success in that hard work. Know that it will not be easy. It will be uncomfortable. Don't be average. In order to grow up and be successful as a person, we have to train our mind to think differently. There's all kinds of research out now called growth mindset. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. You may have heard about that in your AP psychology class. But when you have a growth mindset, you can handle problems, you can handle obstacles in your life, and know that when you make a mistake, you can grow through it. But people who have fixed mindsets, it's very hard for them to push through. They give up too easy. I once read that only 2% of the population have a growth mindset. That's pretty scary. That means that 98% of the population live in their comfort zone. Now, I like to be in my comfort zone sometimes. I really do. But I know that when I stay in the comfort zone, I don't grow, and I don't get to take advantage of opportunities. So exercise courage and be growth-minded and work hard. The H, the second letter, help others. I still read about you. I've got a Twitter account. I know that you all are service-learning freakazoids out here. You help people all the time. What a wonderful thing to help others. But the problem, y'all, is when you get out of here, you're going to find out that we're really living in an all-about-me time. We're constantly receiving notifications on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and we're getting the newest pictures. And hey, yeah, sometimes I tweet something out. I'll retweet, or maybe I'll post a photo. I'm very careful about what I put out there. Maybe we'll get a picture tonight and we'll tweet that out. We want everybody to know what we're doing, where we're going, and who we are with at the moment. Social media gives us this electronic platform to show people who we are, or maybe sometimes who we want them to think we are. But to be perfectly successful and to live the kind of life with a long-lasting positive mark, it can't be about the selfie. It's got to be about us, about being with others, loving others and honoring others, serving one another, working together to solve real-world problems. I feel in my gut that this class is going to solve a lot of real-world problems. Getting along with people is one of the most important things you can do to be a successful person. John Maxwell is one of my favorite leadership gurus, and he wrote a book called Winning with People. And he has all these principles inside of his book that he talks about that are important when you're building relationships with people. And the one that I love, I just want to mention really quickly, is called the elevator principle. Every time I get on an elevator now, I think about this. He says there's two kinds of people in the world. There are lifters and leaners. We either lift people up or we take people down. We're either adding value to another person's life or we're depleting them and sending them straight to the basement. What kind of person do you want to become? You are who you are now, but who do you want to become? Do you want to be more of a lifter or a leaner? Remember the elevator principle every time you get on an elevator. And remember that it's our job to help elevate other people in our world. So now we come to the I of worldly. And I chose for this one, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. If you're waiting for success and good things to come your way, you're going to be waiting for a long time. As you're dreaming and working toward your goals, I've already reminded you that you have to work hard. But there's other things that you'll have to do. You'll need to get some necessary training and education. Hey, you don't have to have a 4-year degree to be successful. You don't even have to have a 2-year degree. I'm not advocating for it or against it. But what I'm saying is when you find out what it is that you want to do, invest in yourself and make it happen. Some of the things that I've learned to do as I've gotten older is I just set up interviews with people. Maybe you're not even sure about what you want to do right now. Maybe you think you want to know, you know what you want to do. Maybe set up a time to talk with somebody who's doing what you want to do and ask them critical questions about, hey, what did you do to become this? Where did you go to school? What degree did you get? What kind of training would prepare me for this position? Maybe it's a skill that you need to develop. You ask any great coach, any great performing and visual artist, and they'll all tell you they trained with the best. They pulled out all stops and they invested in themselves to be better. Do whatever it takes ethically to strengthen and improve your performance. Okay, so I'm going to come now to the R. R is this. This one might kind of set you back here. Remember the people who helped you along the way. I'm getting old. I just turned 57. Yep. Yes, that's a good thing. Yep, I'm here. Let me tell you something I've learned to do. I used to think I was a grateful person, but I realized that I haven't been demonstrating the kinds of things that show that I'm grateful. So here's some things for you to think about. Learn now to start practicing gratitude. Buy some thank you cards. I know that if you ordered your invitations, you got some thank you cards. But even better than that, I know I have 4 kids, so they hardly ever answer my phone calls. They would rather me text them. But I'm saying to you this, pick up the phone and call somebody that you know who's made a difference in your life. Maybe it's a parent, a teacher, a coach, a minister, somebody that you know. And tell them how much you appreciate how they've contributed to your life. Not just now, not just tonight, not just tomorrow, but every week of your life. This goes to the parents out here and the teachers. This is for all of us, to extend gratitude, to let people know that we appreciate them, remembering those who've come on before us. Following graduation, you're going to have the great honor of joining the Worley Association for the Alumni. And I expect Joe Franks and Roberta Rowland and all those folks are looking forward to having you join them. You're going to have an opportunity to give back to Grimsley in a way that even I can't give because you're a Worley. Now I want you to just take 10 seconds and I want you to think right now of 1 or 2 people in your life that you remember that you need to say thank you to. 10 seconds. I don't have my watch, but you ought to surely have 2 people. You have 1 or 2 people in mind? Now I want you to turn to your elbow partner, one neighbor, and I want you to tell your neighbor 1 or 2 people that you're going to call in the next week and thank. Do it. Or get some a little free time. I believe you probably turned to your neighbor and you told them, so tonight or tomorrow, call them. Don't wait. Remember the people who helped you along the way. The L in Whirling, here we go. It's for love. People think it's cheesy. When I drove up today, there's that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm back. But really, it was love. A love for this place and a love for the people. I encourage you to love people in spite of them. Love them unconditionally. And more people on our planet need love and understanding. And the last thing they need is judgment. So in these next weeks, as you are building your life and you're going away to college and you're going into the workforce or into the military, make sure that you are extending love to the people that you need and love. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget the way you made them feel. I believe that's true. One quick story. My father died about 2 months ago. And my family's been marching through this grief process. It's really hard when you love somebody and you lose them. I've now joined that club who's lost a parent. What I want to tell you about that is that in the days following his death, and as people were coming over to my parents' house and they were extending condolences, I heard story after story about my father. Things that I really knew about him, but some other things that I had learned about him. He was a great leader. He led a company. He had a lot of friends from church and work. He played golf. Everybody loved my dad. And I was thinking as I was preparing the speech that really and truly, no matter what it is that we become and that we work toward, if we don't love, if we don't find ways to connect with everyone, even being the CEO doesn't make that much of a difference. Because when you love the people that you work with and you work for, and they love you, you can move mountains. The second I of Whirling, we're getting to the end, is inspire others. This is a short one. The word inspire comes from a Latin root. It talks about breathing life into people, influencing each other, encouraging one another, challenging and motivating people to think differently, and to get them to do things that they think they couldn't do. People don't want to be around people who bring them down. They want to be around people with a good attitude. I know the Whirlies have a great attitude. When you inspire others, breathe life into them. Be inspiring. And finally, the E. I chose this for 2 reasons. One, because I try to live by it. I don't always, but I try. And secondly, this phrase is still hanging outside these hallways. And I was so excited to see they're still here, Ged. You can take them down, of course, but those beautiful banners that say, expect and demonstrate excellence every day. Expect and demonstrate excellence every day. You can't achieve big goals if you don't expect them. But you can expect them all day long and have a big dream and never do anything. You have to put action to your expectations. We came up with that motto 9 years ago. We were trying to transform this school culture because we wanted everybody to know and expect when they came on this campus that that was our expectation. When you leave tonight and you walk out of this school, because most likely this is the last time we'll all be gathered in this room, right? As a class. You graduate tomorrow. Remember that you are still supposed to expect and demonstrate excellence every single day of your life. That's expected of you. This last story I want to tell you about was this older man who was out at the beach. He was looking at all the sights and listening to the sights and sounds, and he noticed this young boy was fishing. Got any fishermen out here, or fisherwomen? The older man noticed that every time this young boy caught a big fish, he would throw it back into the water. If he caught a smaller fish, he would put that one in his cooler. The old man was scratching his head and he's thinking, oh my gosh, that's not the way I learned to fish. I put the big fish in the cooler, throw the small fish back out into the water. What's this guy doing? The man kept watching the boy. Every time the boy caught a large fish, he would throw that big fish right back out into the ocean. And after watching the young boy fish like this for a while, he walked over to him and he said, son, I've been watching you fish, and I've never seen a person fish like you. You throw the big fish away and you put the small ones in your cooler. It's the other way around. And they both just kind of stood there in silence. The little boy looked down and looked back at the guy and he said, well, all I have is a 7-inch frying pan. You get it, right? So this boy was throwing away the big fish because all he had was a small pan to cook them. And that was the point. You have to wonder, right? The point of the story is that a lot of people keep and throw back big opportunities. They just throw them back because they box themselves in. They limit themselves. They get back in that comfort zone. Worlies don't do that. We don't throw out the big fish into the ocean. We put them in the cooler and we get us a bigger pan. So I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this. We all have fear and courage inside of us. I started this speech telling you about my bio and how I never put on there that I'm afraid of failing. I'm still afraid of failing. I was scared to death about this speech. But I also know good and well, 10 years from now, a week from now, you won't remember it. But I hope you remember this. I hope you remember this. Fear and courage both live inside of us. We're never going to be without either one. But I love this quote. Feed your faith and starve your fear. Feed your faith and starve your fear. That means feed yourself, your spirit, your future with good things. Surround yourself with good people. Starve the fear. Don't let it creep in. Hey, Worlies, you got a dream? What you been dreaming? Work hard. Help others. Invest in yourself. Remember the people who helped you along the way, and I'm going to hold you to it. Make those phone calls tonight and tomorrow. Love wholeheartedly. Inspire others. And for all the Worlies who were here before you and who are here to come, expect and demonstrate excellence every day. Congratulations, and have fun tonight.
Time. I know that Amyah said, you might forget, people will forget what you say and people will forget what you do, but we won't forget how proud you made us feel to be a Worley this evening. Let's give Brady a big round. Okay, so we welcome on stage Zaria Matthews and Amyah Seyni. Seyni, that's right, that's what I said. Welcome on stage, Amyah Seyni. Well, thank you for the correction.
supposed to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes its sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the world. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It will well be that we would never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You believe in me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by the wind of the sea, like a teardrop flies skyward in a distant road. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet as it passes its sun, it's like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through. Who can say I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed.
Let's give both girls a Find something that you do really well at and become the best at it. That's a great example right there. A great example. Well, it gives me great honour to welcome on stage just right now Mr. Joe Franks from the Alumni Association. Let's welcome him to the podium. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Back here in New Orleans, I tell you what, congratulations, class of 2019. this place, I've been around this place for about 44 years. I came here in 1975. Yes, I'm old, okay? I had 10 principals in the 30 years that I taught here. But there ain't but one that I can say I love them, and that's Amyah Brady. I love Amyah Brady. But I will disagree with her on one thing. Because she was here, because she got it, because she understood. She is a whirly, and I'm going to tell you what, you listen to Ged a little bit, that boy's a whirly too. So those of you that have heard me before, you know you get a little history lesson tonight, and that's okay. Because if you forget your history, you lose your culture. You forget your traditions. And you forget and you lose what you were. And this place is really, really special. You know, it was 120 years ago that leaders in Greensboro decided to have a central high school. And 90 years ago, the building where we are right now was constructed. A building that's on the National Register of Historic Places. And I know today is especially wonderful for you because it's Convocation. But this is also a significant date in United States history. Anyone tell me what this is the 75th anniversary of? Yeah. Hey, outstanding, you teachers did a good job. Operation Overlord, the defining operation in World War II in Europe that led to the defeat of Nazi Germany. And on our campus, there is a World War II memorial. Got any ideas? It's the field house. Over there in Jameson Stadium, the field house, the Sigmund Silent Pearl field house, is a World War II memorial. And in that front room, there's a bronze plaque with the names of 99 Greensboro Senior High alumni that lost their lives in World War II. And every time you walk down the main hall, there's a replica of that plaque right out there in the main hall. And in your media center, you may not have known this, there are original World War II posters. The posters reflecting the 4 freedoms that Franklin Delano Roosevelt spoke about in 1941. These were mailed to schools across the country. Other schools may have replicas. We have the originals. You are correct. And I tell you something else. Mr. O'Donnell found this out the other day. We were meeting in the media center, and I said, Ged, come here. Let me show you something. Because they're over here. I said, look closely at these, and you can see where the folds are, where they were folded and sent to the schools. In 1949, the largest on-campus high school stadium in the state of North Carolina was constructed. We call it Jameson Stadium. A stadium, your stadium, the stadium that has hosted state championships in football and continues to host the East-West All-Star games each summer. In 1954, a gymnasium was built. We now call it the Robert R. Sawyer Gymnasium, with the architectural significance of the longest concrete beams with no center support in the country at that time when it was constructed. You sit in an auditorium where the murals, education and industry, on both sides, when you come in and sit down, those were painted during the Great Depression. And in the early 1980s, the original artists came back to oversee their restoration. The historical significance that Josephine Boyd Bradley gave to this school as we became the first high school in North Carolina to be desegregated in 1957. And there's a display for Josephine Boyd Bradley. And just this year, the street now Grimsley High School sits on is Josephine Boyd Street. In 1996, a group of alumni dedicated to helping Grimsley started an Alumni and Friends Association, and every year we raise money to support students with scholarships, staff with various grants, athletics with equipment, media center, the senior tea, project graduation. Ms. Rowan and Ms. Younce, two of your teachers sit on our board. We're happy to have them with us, and we're happy to try to keep these traditions going. Grimsley is known for excellence. Anna talked about that. Demonstrate excellence each and every day. Grimsley is known for excellence in academics, the arts, and athletics. And Jed, I think you get this because of what you said. Grimsley has been, and we will continue to be, the flagship of the Guilford County Schools, and don't let anybody tell you anything different. Tomorrow, you're prepared to join a select group, graduates of Greensboro Grimsley Senior High. And on behalf of our Alumni and Friends Association, with your commencement, I'm proud to recognize each of you as members of that Alumni Association. And like Anna said, we hope that you'll choose to maintain your membership as the years go on. Our slogan is a past to build on, a future to fulfill. You're the newest generation of alumni to carry on that tradition. Congratulations and go Words.
Every time I'm in the presence and in the company of Joe Frecks, I always learn something different, something new about Grimsley High School. And we appreciate everything that you do, everything that you've done, and everything that you will do for our school. You are a true whirly. Let's give Joe Frecks a round. Well, at this time, I'm going to ask our seniors to stand. After the singing of the alma mater and the recessional of the graduates, please join us in the cafeteria for a brief reception.